I think it's very possible that because there's a lot of government officials and staff and clerks and all of that, they're passing off responsibility, saying that they'll do something, and then when you wait a little bit, ask them later if they did it, then they'll say, oh, you should have talked to that other person. They pass off things a lot. I hear it all the time. You don't really know who's in charge when they sidestep responsibility so much. Like just today, I'm asking about police policies some more, and the prosecutor in my criminal case is saying that he thinks police policies are for civil trials, and I do a Freedom of Information Act request, and I'm told that it's all privileged information. But if I want to pay $500 to the city, then they'll make copies for me. But I mean, I should have the option of being able to just look. But there's nobody who wants to take the responsibility of showing me where I can look. Yeah, I got this. Oh.
There you go. There you go.
All right. Where's the card? 20. Solicitor prosecutor. Okay. 28th. The above motion that was filed should be granted. Motion to compel disclosure. Huh. All right. All right, I want to just follow up on this email that I got.
And we're supposed to put fence around it.
Oh, really? What type of fence?
Is it records clerk here? Records clerk?
I think she may. We can go upstairs and see.
Yes. Yeah.
8 foot chain link fence.
Okay. See, nope. Oh yeah, okay. Since you're offering, I want to talk to the records clerk about information I got about police policies. The city lawyer, Gold Weems responded, and
Let me get you to the city clerk. She can-
the city clerk.
Yes. You want to have a seat just right here for me?
Oh yeah.
All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and have a seat, she'll be with you in just a second, okay?
Choice. All right.
Hello.
All right. You don't know if the city has the ability to count numbers for like the weekend festivities? Is there a way to count that you guys are keeping track of here at the city hall?
What type of numbers?
I don't know, every weekend since Thanksgiving weekend, counting traffic or estimating. I mean,
That's gonna be our historic district.
they do that stuff. Okay.
With the ticket sales.
Oh yeah, that'd be a way to count. Yeah.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I got Gold Weems, I'm sure you know, responded about.
What is your name, sir?
Oh, it's Travis. Oh, well, it's right here. It's on the email if you want to
Well,
look.
I don't know. You have to tell me your name, please.
Yeah, I can make it bigger.
Okay. All right.
And it's the spelling of it.
Look at
And
it that way.
well, it's the email that was responded. They said the city has informed me that it requires an additional 7 days to complete its review, and I'm assuming that city is in records clerk, and I don't need copies. I just look at what the city policies say. If I just go somewhere and look, if it's on a computer, in a binder, I mean, there's other ways than what he's suggesting.
Then you can contact, since that's been turned over to the attorney, there's a number on there. You can contact them.
All right. Well, he shouldn't even be mentioning the city. You guys are out of the picture. You know, he's saying the city has informed me that it requires an additional 7 days. Why doesn't he say it's going to take him 7 days to get it?
I can't answer that question.
You don't even know that.
I can't answer that question. That's been.
You can't speak for him.
That's correct.
Yeah,
It's been
that's.
turned over to our attorney. I can't speak for him or the police department.
Yeah. All right. Well, then he should say the police department then, right? I mean, that's you. Okay. I'm gonna come back to him. And what's your name again?
My name is Stacy.
Stacy said she has nothing to do with this.
That has been turned over to the attorney,
Yeah.
and then that what you're reading right there.
Yeah.
I do have that, but I don't know where they're
Okay.
at. I don't know what the status of it right now.
Stacy has divulged all responsibility of this issue from.
Sorry, I didn't say that. I'm telling you, you're
Well-
gonna have to contact.
Well, then what responsibility do you carry for this information? Any or none?
Just call. You can call
Is there
the
some?
Responded, if he had any questions, would it be directed towards the attorney, because that's from the attorney?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's.
Corresponding to you. That
Yeah.
letter is directly to you.
Yep.
I don't know
Yeah.
the status of where they're at on getting the information that
Yeah.
you have requested at this point. I do know that was asked for.
Okay.
7 days.
Okay.
So,
It's.
I would want to tell you anything that wouldn't be correct
Yeah.
at this point, because I know as much as you know based on that letter.
Okay, and yeah, he's okay. He's not really. I actually asked him, who could I talk to, and yeah, I guess yeah, you're kind of
I'm a go-between.
no, he's a go-between for you to talk to me. He's the go-between, and then
Okay,
you're
yeah.
go-between with the police, I'm sure.
Well, however
and
you
then-
want to
and then-
look at it.
Yeah, but I mean, I was taking kind of a random guess that maybe you had some information on this.
Okay, all right.
So okay, well yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Right, I observed a few arraignments today at the city court in Natchitoches, and the judge was Owsley and the prosecutor was Benjamin. I just want to say straight up, the first thing that alarmed me was that prosecutor Benjamin asks people for their social security numbers in open court, and one guy just gave it to us pretty much. I could hear him say the social security number. You can decline that, but prosecutor Benjamin's been doing it so long, and people have been accepting it. So that's once again, these people just they don't care about righteousness. They don't care about fairness. They don't care about their privacy. They give it up a lot in this area, and the prosecutor comfortably asks for everything. I watched this proceeding. It was just a few people. They start out with criminal cases, first arraignment, and then go to traffic, and then maybe a second arraignment after that. I left when traffic came up. There was a few animals running at large, at least 2 disturbing the peace and domestic abuse battery. I asked ChatGPT, let me just go back. I asked ChatGPT about giving a social security number, and it says you can decline. I mean, I asked if it was usual, if it's typical. I actually don't know. I didn't know. Is it typical for prosecutors to ask for the social security number? And it's not. So that's something to complain about. He shouldn't even be asking. But they are certainly very forthcoming on telling you to go to the public defender's office so that the public defender can deny you if you have even a penny in your savings account. I mean, that's just kind of a part of the process at city court, is to tell you to talk to a public defender, but the judge isn't appointing a public defender to you. They're just telling you to go to the office and fill out paperwork. That's it. And there's like a public defender sitting on the left side in the courtroom, and the prosecutor's on the right side. There seems to be more cooperation between the prosecutor and this public defender than defense and offense. The public defender almost seems to be there just to help the prosecutor find the people's names on the paperwork. They all have the same paperwork. Even the judge has to help the prosecutor Benjamin, find names on the paperwork. I think his eyesight's going bad, because I mean, the prosecutor just can't seem to find words on paper. Makes me wonder about his reading skills, or if he's got a lot of blurred vision. He doesn't appear to wear glasses. He talked to the one guy. I heard the case number 172424, and I can ask about that. I haven't really done that. I'm curious what the court's clerk would say with me asking about a case number. But it started out where the prosecutor was like, it doesn't add up with a simple possession charge, and so then he was willing to drop it. But then, since they had difficulty finding this guy's name, after he drops it, he finds the same guy's name with another charge of trespassing, and he said that looked legitimate. So the prosecutor changed his mind on simple possession of a controlled substance charge, and he said he'll work it out. They'll work it out. And Judge Owsley said told them to take time to work it out at the DA's office. You don't work out anything at the DA's office. They don't talk to me. I mean, they don't want to to work things out at that DA's office. They just want to tell you how things are done, and that's it. So for the judge to advise the defendants to work it out at the DA's office is disingenuous to what actually happens. A public defender, yeah, there's several cases where a public defender is recommended, and it sounds almost like the judge or even the prosecutor encourage people to just to plead not guilty and then go seek counsel or something. I don't recall back when I was in courts on my first time here if there was a public defender sitting on my left. It seemed like there was somebody there. That face, as a lady, I don't know her name, but her face looks familiar. She may have been there. They may have a public defender who sits in the courtroom back in 2022 even. Let's see. The prosecutor asks he often asks if you have previous criminal history. Let's see. Yeah, he changes defendants' minds when they say they'll plead guilty, and he's like, well, maybe you should reconsider and plead not guilty right now. And so then they plead not, and then they're like, okay, I'll plead not guilty. It's kind of strange. It's hard to say if it's common, but I mean, the way things that are done in this city courthouse are very uncommon anyway. Let's see. The disturbing the peace charge is considered a lesser charge than failure to ID in Louisiana. You get up to 30 days and 90 days in jail, and I didn't catch the fine, but it's up to 6 months in jail for failure to ID. So, yeah, my failure ID charge could be dropped to disturbing the peace, which is it's got a lesser penalty, lesser punishment to it. You know, I find it interesting that my former lawyer never suggested taking a lesser charge, but I mean, we're going for a total defense anyway. I'm going for a total defense. With domestic abuse, battery, there's one guy with that. He wanted to just plead guilty, but the prosecutor told him to plead not guilty. The prosecutor is advising people to plead not guilty. I haven't watched enough court processions to know how it was going. All I could say is my first impressions back in 2022 of Prosecutor Benjamin was that I found it amusing that he'd look up to the sky like he was searching for God's answer on how to handle the person's guilty plea, and then he'd humbly accept it and give this, multi-$100 fine, and the judge would accept it, and it was just one person after the next, after the other, just in a row, pleading guilty, and he'd consider what the sky or the roof of the courthouse had to tell him, and look down and be like, okay, I'll give you I'll accept your guilty plea with it, if you take this fine. And that was the plea. But today I've been hearing a lot more, even for disturbing I heard the simple possession, they said take a lawyer. And it was hard to hear. They were talking very softly, but both disturbing the peace charges, the two people both pled guilty, took a fine of $341, and then they got 10 days in jail, but that was suspended. So the judge sentenced them to jail, but wouldn't actually physically have them taken to jail. And that's the mercy that this court offers when you plead guilty, and make their jobs easier. So that's my observations at this court. Is short. I didn't spend, this might still be going on. I didn't spend the day there. There's maybe 100 people today They do it maybe once a month or once every 2 weeks. All right. Is it? You just go with the clerk or not?
See if they're there. Maybe we should tell them, Steve,
What's that?
did you ever get your stuff from Steve?
Steve, nope, I did not.
Come on, man. Hey, Steve. Steve, you got something for Friday? Be that. Nigga. Come on, nigga. What's fix on, fix on.
Okay, like turn the pin.
Good. That's
Hey, may I have a copy of one of them documents? What?
These are reset notices.
What's that?
These are our reset notices.
Oh, you prefer that I just write it myself? This little document right here.
Reset notice.
It's a reset? Reset.
This for court.
Yeah, I can't use that to call somebody to trial.
No.
Good, it's an order to appear.
For us to give out, not defendants.
Oh, I see, your name is at the corner. Okay, I'm sorry, all right.